Yeah, good morning, everyone. So today we will continue the our Saturday's topic like ST03 or ST03n. So this is for the workload analysis. So workload monitor. So workload monitor analysis we will do in the ST03. So we have discussed about the ST01 for trace, ST02 for the buffers and hit ratio, swaps, all these things we have discussed in this one. So today we will discuss about the ST03. So this is for the workload. So when we will use this transaction code, when we will use this transaction codes. So we have to use this transaction code when the time of So when there is a issue in the system, some performance issue, some slowness issues, that time, so we will use this transaction codes. We will use this transaction codes. Okay. So let's open. Okay, 1 minute. So and also we have installed the new SID as well. That is called the NWP. So that is called the NWP new SID we have installed. This is a Lifeweaver production system. So it's a simple like to practice on the multiple systems and the multiple products. We have installed this SID. Instance number is the 02 and SID is the this one. So same password, same thing will work. So you can practice either ECC or in the network system also you can do the practice. So both the systems are available. You can practice it either. So let me log in. Okay. So we have not sure these timelines are changing on this. Okay. So that we can leave it for now. So now we'll see the so yeah. So we are discussing about the ST03, right? ST03. So if you execute this transaction code, you will see the load here. The last time when we execute here, there is a error message displayed saying that there is no workload here. So if you see now, there is a workload here. So you can see here in the workload. So you can see here. So day wise and also day wise we have the workload. So in this workload, so you can see. So what exactly happening with the system? So what is the workload in the system? So here normally we will monitor the dialogue average response time. So this we will monitor it. So this is very high, then we have to take the action. So this is normal, maximum 5 minutes. This is so each and every dialogue step means users are logged into the SAP system. Then there they will monitor the, so they will do the transactions, navigating the one step to another screen to another screen. So that time, so they will use the system, and also system also how the system is responding to them. So users are logging into the system means dialog work process, which means dialog work process will take the request and will process. So how speed dialog response in this processing? What is the average response time? How much time response time? How many steps are executed? Suppose we have we have see here. So 2705, so there is a date, at that date, so we have the, so response time got displayed here. So here how much is the CPU time, db time, so all the times got displayed here, how much time, so city time, so all the times got displayed, how much time it's taken to process our request. So normally, so here this response time we will check it out, 527.7 milliseconds. So milliseconds. So this is the milliseconds. So if the average response time is 5 minutes or 4 minutes more, depends upon your organizational policy. So if it's a more, then we have to take the action. So why it is very more? So what exactly happening in the system during that time? So that response times we can monitor from here in the ST03. Not only, so 5 minutes load, 2 minutes load, yearly load, so all the like not 3 minutes load, and 4 months load, 3 hours, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 1 day, 2 days, 1 week, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. So those months we can take the average load, so average responsibility we can take it out. So as part of this transaction code, normally we will go to the last minute load. There, here we will set the date and time, we can check it out, so total response time how much? Suppose if I take the yesterday's one, normally last 24 hours load we will take it here. In every organization we will take the last 24 hours. So how was the last 24 hours load in the system? So those response time we will take it here. So here, based on that last 24 hours, how the system is behaving, so is there any performance issue in the system? So like that in ST03n, we can monitor the all the response times, GA time. So everything we can monitor it here. So the historical data also available in the system. The historical data also available in the system. Historical means 3 months, 4 months, like for 1 month, weeks, days. So hours, minutes data also available here. If you want to any custom date, anyone custom time period, you can just filter the date here. You can pull the date from here. Here you can see how much time it took yesterday. So 28, last 24 hours. So you can see 360.4 milliseconds. There is no much performance issues in the system. So if we have the performance issues, we have to go to the transactional profile, and we need to check. First of all, we have to check who logged into the system and what transactions, what reports they have executed. You can see in the system, the first report, this is the, so there is a one job executed. Then after that someone executed the six transaction code, SU01 transaction codes. So all these things are relevant. Suppose we want to know who executed what. If you double click it, then you will see the username here, the basis user. So how many steps he executed, what is the average response time here, what is the total CPU time, what is the average CPU time, what is the DB response time, how much time it took to get the data response from the database level. So each and everything we will see, all the response time we can see from the system. So you can see here how much time it is getting time, and also you can see the time profile. So in which time the response is very high, in which time period, in the period like 7:25, the morning hours, we have the this response time is very high. You can see this response time is very high in the morning hours. So you can see here the response time is very high here. So which report? Okay, this is the standard background job which took the so longer time. Then automatically next one. So this is the standard background job. So like that, we can plan, we can analyze the our so system analysis, system performance related issues. We can see suddenly you may get the yesterday at particular time system response is very high. You want to check what exactly caused that time. In this case, you need to go to the ST03. Then so here you have the so transactional profile and the time profile. So based on that, you will see the so all the information who executed. You go to the transactional profile, suppose, so here you can see this auto above this response time, you can see this response time are very high. This is the 55, this is the 14. Suppose if you double click it, what exactly happened? So this is the basis user, one of the basis user executed this background job. So that time it took the average response time is this is the one. How much CPU time it is used, what is the DB time it is used. So all the information you can see here, all the information you can see from here, all the information you can see here. So the background job related information, same as like here also auto above means internal process, internal system user will take this one internal processing. Some batch is the batch process, so same internal processes. And same as like SU01, someone used the SU01. To double click it, you used so basis user used the SU01 transaction code. So like that, here we can see that the analysis we can perform it here. So if we go to the time profile, in which time, so that time profiles in which hour, so that the transactions are very more hours. Those things we can find out here. So we have the reports. So you can see here. So entire day transactions we can find out here, 0 to 6 hours. So what exactly happened in the 0 to 6 hour? So all the information is available here. So future reports, which jobs executed, who executed this PA30 on the day we executed the PA30 transaction codes on the 0 to 6 hour, and SM36 transaction codes. So all the information are available here. So all the informations are available in the system. So based on that we can plan. Based on that, we can see who executed this SM36 basis transaction basis on a user. Then VL02 who executed same. So when the time of last time when we were practicing the response times and buffers, we executed all these transactions, right? So that is the reason that time initial starting time that time these are the very high response time. So that is the reason. So we see system is detected and we can see the tracking here. So you can see the tracking here, which one is taking the longer time. So based on that, we have to take the respective actions. Either we have to minimize or we have to adjust the load or whatever we want. We can check that one. You can check that one. So this is the ST03n transaction code. ST03n transaction code. This is the ST03n transaction code. Okay. So this is the transactions which we are discussing. So the workload monitor. So you can also see the ST02 for the swaps, buffers, and everything. ST02 swaps, buffer shift ratio, buffer free space, SAP memory areas, all these things we can see it. And ST03, 3 or 3N for the so workload analysis to analyze the system workload in each and every hour, what exactly happening, all kind of information we can see in ST03 or ST03n transaction code. Okay, detailed analysis we can find out from here. Okay, this is the ST03. Same as like here. So what we do if the response time is more than 6 minutes? What action to be taken? The response time. Okay, so if the response time is more, from which one, so like Suppose the dialogue response time is more, so we have to see. So in that response time, suppose example, this response time is more than 6 minutes or more than 5 minutes, right? So here, what actions we have to take it out? First of all, we need to check what exactly what transactions are executed during this period. If you go to the transaction period, then you will see what transactions are executed during the period. So in this transactions, so which transactions took longer time? Maybe you can filter it out. So okay, this job took the long time. Okay, example, this job took the long time. The next one is the system internal process. Next one is the so this one is the SM13 updates. So this one took longer time. So you need to double click it. You see which user executed this job. Okay, which user executed this job. Okay, this job is taking a longer time. That is the reason the response time is very more. So in this case, we need to check. So what is the foreground behind this job program? Why? Because when job is running means there is a foreground, right? There is a foreground. It will be called. So we need to check what is the foreground, what is the variance, what is the limitations are mentioned in that programs. So based on that, we need to fix it out. Suppose this VL02 transaction is taking longer time. So just check it out who executed. Basis user person is executed. How much time executed. Okay. So then based on that, we have to check with this transaction. Is still is taking some time or only when the buffers loading initial time is taking to load. Maybe it's only initially loading that time it took that some time, and then after that it's fine. Then we can ignore it. But so we need to check. It's a frequently every day this is coming means then we need to take the action. So why VL02 transaction is taking longer time? Then we need to fix that issue. Either it's a functional, so we need to work with the functional. Are there any custom? Suppose sometimes transactions will take some time. Why? Because so for each standard transaction, there is a custom program, custom code is assigned. Some includes, some structures, some open, some closed brackets. They will mention in the this transaction source. So for their custom code will take longer time. Definitely the entire transaction will take longer time. Maybe the code is absolute in the latest versions. Maybe still the person is configured that code. Might be the reason we see that might be the reason we see the so issues. That might be the reason we see the issues in the systems. Okay, so that is the VL02 transaction code. Next one is the SM36 is the transaction code. SM36 is the transaction code. So suppose SM36, who executed? Basis user. So why is executed? What jobs executed? Why it took longer time? Like that, based on that, we have to analyze and take the actions. Analyze and we have to take the action. Okay, just give me a minute. Let me pull the back charger. Yeah, sorry guys. So you can still hear me, right? Fine. Okay. So here, this is the way we can. So we can analyze the workload. We can analyze the workload, and we can also see the time profile. So based upon this time profile, we can see what transactions, who executed, what executed, in what time this is executed. All the information we can see in so VL02. Sorry, in the ST03 transaction code. This is a very important transaction code. This is one of the daily monitoring transaction code. Normally, as part of the daily monitoring, we have to log into the system. Then we have to see what exactly happened in the system. So last 24 hours, what exactly happened? What is the response time? Not only dialogue response time, we can also see the background response time. So then it's a system internal process, dialogue, RFC response time, spool response time, system startup update. So RFC response times, all the response times we can see. So CPU time, DB time, so average response time, wait time, how much time it is waited, how much time it is waited to get the our response, system response, roll in time, roll wait, so load generation time, all the information you can see in the here in the, so here you can see how much data requested, so how many, is there any trips happened, network glitches or anything is happened. So that kind of information we can see here. RFC, which RFC, so what exactly happened, that RFC related information we can see in the transactions. So this kind of analysis we can see in the system. Okay, this is the ST03 N or ST03 transaction. If you go to the expert mode, same you will get it out. Expert mode and so normal mode also you will see the things here. Okay, here workload analysis. This is the workload analysis of the system. So next one is for the ST04. So we have discussed about the ST01, ST02, ST03, and now ST04, and we have ST05 and ST06. So we have ST07 transaction codes as well. So it starts from the ST. Okay. So 04. What is mean by ST04? Okay. Database related ST04 transaction code. Database performance monitor. Okay. DB performance monitor. So if you use this transaction code, or so there is a one transaction code for the all the database related, that is called the DBA cockpit. DBA cockpit. If you use the ST04, or you can use the DBA cockpit, all database related transaction codes you will see here. So what is the database current status? So all the services are started. So what is the system usage? What is the version? What is the memory usage? What is the CPU usage? So what is the disk usage? Database related, database performance related. What is the physical memory of the database? So disk status, all the information we can see here. So overview, alerts, are there any critical alerts in the system, the database level we can see. So you can see here, so there is a high priority. In the time of the discussion that our database topic, we will come to know this alerts and issues and everything. So database performance, so database performance, threads, how many threads, this kind of database related. So monitor, performance monitor, we can check in ST04 or so DBA cockpit, ST04 or DBA cockpit monitor. You can see the database related, so analysis and everything you can find out from here. Okay, this is the entire DB related. Okay, the next one is for the ST05. So ST05 we can discuss more, but thing is here, so the database topic, when the time of the database topic, so we will cover the DB administration part. So that time we will monitor the DB administration from ANA Studio or this DBA cockpit transaction code as well. So ST05 is the, so it's like kind of the system performance trace. ST01 is for the system trace. ST05 is for the performance trace. In the performance trace, so we can find out SQL performance, RFC performance, trace performance, STP trace performance. We can switch on it, whatever the trace you want to activate it. Then you can reproduce the your issue. Whatever the issue you are getting, you can reproduce. Then deactivate the trace. Just click on the display the trace. So then you will see the what happened in each area you got a similar issue. See, this is the trace, it got generated in the trace file. So what is the duration? So this took longer duration. Which one? ST05 trace. So from which client? So this is the client. So like that we can find out the, we can do the some our analysis. Which one took the longer duration? Which one took the longer duration? Which step took the longer duration? So here we can find out the all the information. So here you can see which statement. When you click on the ST05, So it backend, which SQL statement is executed in the backend to pull the data from the database level. So that kind of information you can see here. This is everything is fine. Only here this duration took the longer time. This duration took the longer time. Is the select statement. Then insert statement, insert the values. The inserting the values also took the longer time. So which means so these two statements took the longer duration in the fraction of second. These two, what is that statement, what executed, all this information we can see in the ST05. So when we have to open the trace, when there is a issue in the system, when there is a issue, when there is a issue, so you cannot see the more logs in the system. When there is a issue, you cannot see the more logs in the system that time. So we can open ST01, that is for the system trace. So you have some performance issues in the system, some SQL trace, some SQL statements. So suppose you asked me, right? So you asked me something like, so suppose if the dialog response time is more, the dialog response time is very more. So that time what we have to do, right? That is the question you asked me. So then at that time I need to find out why it is more. Then in this case, what I can do, I will enable the trace. So I have to enable the trace. Then which transaction code which took the long time? In ST03, we found one transaction code took the longer time, right? Then I will execute the transaction code now. I will execute the transaction code VL02 transaction code executed. So see how much time it is taking initially. Initially it is taking some time. So here it took the some time. We got the issue. Actually, this is transaction is outdated. That is the reason we got this output. Now we'll see. We'll go deactivate the trace and display. Now just click on the button. Now you'll see. Now you will see the, so what exactly happened when you are trying to use the VL02 transaction code. So which where it got stuck in the VL02 transaction code. So all the information will be tracked here. All the information will be tracked here. Maybe we can filter based upon the, so maybe we can filter it out here. Which one took the longer time? You just click on the scrolling down. Which tables it's referred, then in which tables took the longer time. So what happened during that time? So this all are the sales related. See here, sales related programs and the sales related tables, all these things are the, so all the information. So based on that, where it got took the time, dialog response time more means where it got took the time. Suppose in this phase it got took the longer duration, which means what is the object, what is the table here in this table. So which statement is executed? Select order by dot mandate statement is executed. So what is this select dot mandate field? So buffers loading here, loading. So system loading the tables here, taking time. So what is the size of this table here? Exactly present size. Are there any indexes are there here? Primary indexes or secondary indexes? Why? Because in the table, if you have the indexes, you will get the immediate response. If you are not getting the immediate response, means there are some issues with the tables, and maybe the table data is very huge. So some indexes. So based on that, so like that, we have to do the some analysis on these systems. Okay, you got it right. So you have the problem to detect in the ST03. So based on the ST03 analysis, you find so there is some issues with the system. So then immediately you can go to the ST05 to trace it. You will find to trace ST05. So you can just enable the trace and activate, deactivate, and check. So in which one, in which phase, in each statement, which table it took the longer time. Based on that, we have to take the action. Suppose one table loading or select statement or insert statement taking the longer time means what is the table size. So why it is taking some time to pull the data from the table. So why it is taking some time. So are there any, suppose the table has primary, if any table has primary and secondary indexes, immediately it will go index. If the table has index, immediately it will go pull the data. If you don't have the index, maybe index got corrupted, maybe if the table size is very high, then we may get some time to get the data, right? So that is the reason. So we may face the issues. We may face the issues. Now you see, within fraction of seconds we got it. So initially loading only taking some time. Then after that, the response time is very fast. See how fast I got the same. So like that, suppose one of the transaction code, my code transaction code. So see here how much time it is taking now. This is a very dangerous transaction code, time taking transaction codes. MyGo, PA30. This is a sale functional related. You no need to remember this transaction codes. So time taking transaction codes. This all are. So see here how much time it is taking now. So how much time and compiling the programs and everything. So it's taking. See how much time. See here. So the goods purchase order related transaction codes, the goods purchase orders and everything. So everything related transaction codes is transaction. How much time it took? It took the longer duration, micro transaction code. Okay, the first time it took the longer duration. So I'm executing the same second time. See how fast I got the same results now. So what is the difference here? Why it took the longer time? Anyone can explain? First time it took the longer time. Second time when you executed, immediately it gets responded. Immediately the data loaded. Immediately you got the screen here. Why?
Buffers may be stored in buffer.
Yeah, that is the reason we have the buffers concept in the ST02. Okay, buffers loading the buffers. Initially, first it will go and check in the buffers. We have seen right in the previous class. It took some time. Then the data is there buffer. Immediately you will get the data. Data is not there. Then it will go to the database level. Then it will take the sound time. Okay, that is the thing will happen here. Okay, so same as like same other transaction codes as well. Okay, this is the so entire this process. So we can find out here, these all are the performance tuning, performance related transaction codes. So the next one is the ST06. This is the operating system level. So CPU operating system level of operating system level monitor, OS level, how much CPU it is using, how much memory, file systems, network, packets in, packets out, all this information. So this is called the OS level performance tuning. OS level performance detecting. OS level the performance detecting this one. ST06, ST06 OS level the performance detecting this one. We can find out from here. ST06 here. You can see here ST06 here. So operating system level means what is your operating system? What is the timestamp here? Who is the hardware manufacturer, host name? So what is the solution? How much time here? System utilization. So what is the average response waiting time? System utilization. System utilization 1% and user utilization 2% and system idle time is the 97%. 97% means idle time means the free time. How much percentage system is free? So instead of 100 requests, 90%, 97% system is free. Remaining 2% users are using, means users means we are logging to system, you are using the system. So and 1% system is using. So total 100%. How many CPUs we have? So number of process we have. How many cores we have? 4. How many threads we have? So what is the free memory percentage? So all the information we can see, not only live, we can also see the some previous hour CPU utilization as well. Previous hour CPU utilization also we can find out. So in 28, so 06th hour, what is the user utilization, and 29, 28, how much? 29th, how much? You can see here. What are the top CPU contributors? Total top CPU contributors. Which one? Which process is using the which user? Which process is using the more CPU and memory here? You can see administrator user SAP logon.my logonpad.exe is using the more CPU and more memory. Then next, who is that one? So SAP ADM. So all the information we can find out from, so here in ST03. And also CPU, not only CPU also we can find out from here. And also you can see the memory also, memory percentage also you can see here. And also disk, whatever there in the OS level, what and all things we can see in the operating system level. CPU, memory, CMD, CPU, memory, disk, network. So all this, right? Network means LAN. So LAN network also. How much? What is the network bandwidth? Packets in, packets out, and are there any errors? So all this information. Disk, memory. So memory usage. So you no need to go to the operating system level, go to the task manager and go to the performance here. You don't need to check all these things here. Why? Because in the taskbar we will find out the memory, CPU, so Ethernet, disk usage, and more details. These are the top CPU contributors, which one using the more CPU, and all this information we can find out from here, right? All the information we can find out from here. So this is the thing will happen here in the system, right? So same as like here, same as like, so here in the, okay, so same as like here we can see the CPU's related information. So these are the daily monitoring transaction codes to monitor the our system behavior, how fast system is behaving. So memory. So if you want to check the history means the previous hours of the memory usage. You can check it out, the all the information from ST06. It's a very important transaction codes. All these transaction codes are very important transaction codes to check the system usage, memory, CPU. Why? Because if the CPU, memory are good, looks good, then you won't face any performance issues. And also you can check each CPU what is the load there, each CPU what is the system load. So how much time all the CPUs are taking the equally load, or three CPUs are only working and the remaining one is not working. So those things we can find out here. So let me see here. So you see here CPUs. So how many CPUs, memory, disk, LAN, CPU, monitor process, all the information you can see from here in ST03 transaction code. You can find out all the information here, right? So this is the way we have to monitor the system behavior. See here, CPU 0, we have the total four CPUs, but CPU 0, 1, 2, 3, like that it starts from the 0. Okay, so how much CPU percentage, each CPU, what is the equally loading the distribution user. So first CPU 6 users, 2, 3, 9, and system utilization, idle time, and everything. So this third CPU, the load is very less. So load is very less. So idle time is more. Then we can put more load on the system as well, not a problem. So like that we have to take it out. Okay. So this is the way we have to investigate and do the analysis of the our system behavior, our system behavior and everything from here. Okay. This is the analysis we have to perform. So the next one we have ST07. This is the only small transaction code. Here nothing is there. Here we can just monitor the application, monitor and the components. So user distribution. So it's not very important transaction code. Normally we won't use it anyone, but for your understanding purpose, application monitor and user distribution. So the basis related application, suppose we have the basis, above, functional, FICO, finance, all the application modules are available in the system. So each application module, how many users are logged in, how many workflows are using, and how many sessions are opened. So all kind of information will be so tracked on the this basis component. This is called the application monitor and user distribution. Application monitor and user distribution. This is called the application monitor and user distribution transaction code. ST07. This just we can see here. So each component, each application means each component, how many users are active users, number of users are logged in, what are the work process it is occupied, all this information we can find out from here. So this is the way we can see the things here. This is the way we can see. Now, sorry, some network issues. Yes. And also we can see some uh, other history also we can find out. So this is the dated from the 27th date, and also weekly also we can find out here. There is no week data, month data, everything, but we can find out if the data is available, we can find out. Okay, this is about the transaction code ST01 to ST07. Okay, so ST04 either you can use it database performance monitor, or we have similar to same transaction code is called the DB12, DB13, okay, DB01, then DB12, sorry, DB02, right? So DBA, this all are so database related transaction codes. If you use all these transaction codes, or there is a one transaction code, if you use it, DBA cockpit, that is the same. Either you can use all this or combined into one transaction code is called the DBA cockpit. So what are these transaction codes? Okay, so I will explain it, but I think you have to practice it, right? I will stop it here. Then you guys can practice from ST01 to up to ST07. You can practice it. Okay, is it okay for you? So will you guys practice, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so please practice it. It is a very important transaction codes. Please practice it so that if you practice well, so then only we can continue the remaining transaction codes. Just you can practice. The other systems are available, so you can practice all this transaction code. So just to log into the system, use the basis user. You can use the basis user. Basis user is available. So just to, you can do the, so you can execute the transaction code and see what exactly happening, and all these things you can see in the system. What exactly happening? What we have to check it out. All these things you can check. ST07, what we can check here. Here we can check the are there any cancelled or long running transactions here. So check are there any long running transactions here. So there only no nothing. There are no long running transactions here. So like that we need to check the issues here. Okay. So please practice this transaction codes and let me know if you have any doubts. Okay, so that's it for today. So I'm stopping the recording. So please